Hey, welcome back, everybody, to another edition of Bill's Vlogs. Today, I want to talk about Volusia and the 360 race that took place last weekend. And I want to talk about some car shows and get into that a little bit. It's Monday, February 3rd, and it's kind of a little bit of a break in the action today. I'm getting caught up here from some stuff that went on this weekend. I'm over in the warehouse. Danny's still in Florida. So he's down there, I would assume, getting... All right, I'm back. Phone call, and then some customers show up. So, as you know, Danny's in Florida, like I was just saying. So I'm here kind of trying to run the shop myself. But anyhow, Volusia last weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, watched the races. Very entertaining to some degree, and other parts of it was, I'm going to say, rather boring, and I'll get into that right now. So, first thing that stuck out to me all week was the track prep. I know if you watched it, you probably, maybe you felt the same way. Everybody I talked to felt the same way, but so much track prep went on throughout the week, which actually I feel like led to some good racing, as it turned out, but along the way, between all of the UMP mods and all the qualifying, and all the heat races just drug out to the point where a couple nights I actually turned it off and rewatched it the next day or watched the highlights. With that, I also want to say that one part that was kind of weird was there was a lack of coverage through the Dirt Vision app, streaming service, what have you. I know it was ASCS, which is now owned by World Racing Group. They kind of carried the flag there on the whole series and their announcers, what have you. But the coverage went, man, the phone just keeps ringing here on the Monday, so I'll be right back. Anyway, like I was saying, the coverage dropped out a lot during the week. Hopefully they get that fixed before the World of Outlaws start this week. It was strange because it was free on YouTube, free through their Facebook page, live stream. So that was one thing that I messed me up a little bit. And then, like I said, the track prep, which was extensive, a lot of farming going on, what have you. But it led to some good racing. So Justin Peck just made everybody look silly all week. He was really fast. That 26 car, just so much speed. I don't know how else to say it. He looked faster all around the track. Like it almost looked like he had 100 more horsepower than everybody else. And everybody was definitely just racing for second all week. But the first night I thought the racing was pretty good through the qualifiers were just okay, and then the track got better for the feature. And then, speaking of my brother, he had a decent week. I know the last night he was fifth. Had a good run that night. And, overall, I felt like it was entertaining. I'll put it that way. I wish Danny would have had a little better luck, a little more speed, but he just didn't have it. I think they're maybe hurting a little bit on horsepower, which equals speed. I did feel like the race for second through fifth or whatever, I didn't get to see a whole lot of Danny's racing because he was always trying to work his way forward, or he was just out of the lead pack enough where he was racing for fifth and sixth that he just didn't show him much. But like, I know the last night there, I think it was the 88, the 21, the 2C, they were having a hell of a race for second, third, and fourth. And them guys were slicing and dicing. And like I said, the track was nice and wide. Overall, it was good racing. Even the modified racing, which you can't, if you're going to dedicate time to watch that, you're going to watch a lot of modified racing. Well, even though I'm not a super big modified fan, I thought it was good racing. I'm always rooting for Kenny Wallace, Kenny Schrader, right? Them guys. I like Kenny Wallace and all the stuff, all the content he puts out there. So, still good racing from them guys as well. But the 360 event, definitely them guys that went down a little bit ahead of time to knock the rust off for this coming week when the Outlaws come to town. I feel like they probably accomplished that. A lot of cars too. I know Danny told me before he went down they were expecting a lot of cars, but I didn't realize they're going to have that many. I thought it'd be in the upper 30s. But lots of cars, C-Main every night. And one other big thing that I noticed was a lot of engine failures. I guess maybe because of the conditions, the atmosphere. I know down there the air is usually pretty good, so it's good for making power this time of year. And maybe it was too much power for some of them motors. I know Jacob Allen, which sucks for him, first night out, he had, I believe it was hot laps, he had engine woes, he pulled off, and then, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was the B main, because he did make time trials that night, and I think he was in either the heat or the B main. He was running and up and smoking. He was done for the week. So I know they had big plans for the whole week last week, and then the next several weeks running the 360 stuff, and then they blew the motor and they were done. They have one 360 motor. So yeah, so that's my take on Volusia and the 360 stuff. Justin Peck, just, man, hats off to that guy and that team. Fast car, fast team. It'll be interesting to see what they can accomplish this coming week with the 410. If last week's any indication, they'll be right up front in the hunt every night. So, yeah, so that's my take on that. The other subject I want to talk about is car shows. So, if you're local to me here in Pennsylvania, you'll know that this past weekend we had the York Car Show, which we used to call Dirt Tracking, and before that, for many years, I don't know, we just called it the York Car Show. And then the week prior to that, we had the show at the Greater Oaks Expo Center, where they crowned Miss Motorsports for the season. They call it the Motorsports Show. And the reason I'm talking about this is it seems like the car show side of things have kind of like, they peaked several years ago and they've kind of just steadily declined. And people ask me about that. And I work on Saturdays, so it's hard for me to get to any of these shows, okay? Plus, with Danny being gone, we did think about taking our car to the show, but we just wasn't going to work out. It wasn't going to be possible with the logistics and time of getting everything done. Car's not lettered, what have you. So people come in here and say, hey, you're going to the car show. Well, why ain't you going? Why don't people go? Why is there less cars there? So I have some thoughts on that. Couple things. Number one, which is kind of just the way the world works anymore. The phones, and the internet and the Facebook page and this YouTube channel like you're watching and everything else. Everybody used to, now I'm talking like going way back when my dad was racing full time. I can't tell you how excited I was as a kid to go to these car shows. All right, not just back here we used to have the mall used to have a car show. We used to have the race cars at the mall. So you'd have Motorsports Show, the York Show, Chambersburg would have a mall show, and there were other shows around the area too. And man, that was like one of the things I look forward to the most was to go to the car show, see all the new paint schemes. Back then, most of the cars were all hand lettered. See the new paint schemes, see the new cars in general, drivers that moved up that you never even heard of before. Visit all the racetrack booths. You go to the booth, get the little fold up schedule, whether it be Lincoln or the Grove, or all them tracks, they would be there. And one other cool thing for me, a couple things was, as a kid, you'd want to look at the photos. There'd always be guys there with photos of cars, novelty stands. And there'd be booths there with race videos. You could sit down and actually watch, the race video from the year from certain tracks. So all that stuff was exciting and was a big draw for me. I knew it was a draw for other people as well. As I got older and started racing, I started attending them shows as well. And man, we just, Saturday nights would be busy. Friday nights would be busy. Just constant people. Well, that changed, okay? And it's kind of going downhill. Even though the shows have expanded or even changed venues, the competitor side of it, the support from the competitors is kind of going down. And, like I was just saying, the internet, I feel like, has really hurt these events. Everybody can see the cars online. I know when it's the day that you load the car into the show, everybody's walking around taking pictures of cars, posting them on Facebook. So it really takes away from the attraction of going down and seeing all the new stuff. And that's disappointing. They do have some cool stuff there. They have the motors, they had the, what they call it, the Miss Racing Extravaganza contest. So they have events like that. They have cornhole. They do all of these other things to try and draw people in. But it's hard to go there as a driver or a spectator because the newness of it is already gone. In other words, everybody's already seen all the new stuff. And that's sad. For me, at least nostalgically, thinking back to how cool it was and the way it is now, everybody just posts it online, and I'm just as guilty as the next person. We post stuff online. So it's a shame that it's changed and it's kind of gone that way. Aside from it being a social event, which is kind of, what it was back then as well, going there and hanging out with people and seeing the fans. It's just changed a lot, and I don't know how it ever changes back is kind of where I'm going with this. It's just like an evolution of things. So let me know what you think. If you've attended these shows over the years or you're still attending them now and what you're seeing there. I know Chris Frank, he took his car down, and props to him. He busted his ass to get his car done. So, check him out on the Facebook page. He's got a brand new car design this year. It looks great. It's really bright. He worked hard to get his car together. Here's the other thing. It's just the cost of it anymore. It used to be free for the competitor to take your car down, and you would get X amount of passes for the weekend. So you say if you're a car owner, you're the owner and the driver, and maybe a crew member could get in for the weekend or something like that. So that's changed too. The cost of it to go there has gone up as a competitor. So anyway, comment below. Let me know what you think about all this stuff. And I'm just thinking while I'm saying all these things about the car shows, we used to have a lot of shopping malls around here. So the malls have all gone out of business damn near. Like I said, Chambersburg Mall used to have a car show, and it would be like different cars from like the other car shows. So, things have just changed a lot, and that's just another example of that. So, that's all I wanted to talk about that this week. And I guess from progress, things always, as things progress, there's always things left behind. Maybe that's one of them cases. So anyway, I hope everybody has a good week, and we're making some good progress in the shop. We should have a car design for you guys real soon. T-shirts real soon as well. We're going to have some awesome looking stuff, and so stay tuned for that. BillyDietrich.com. We're going to upload the merch in a couple weeks here, and we're only less than 3 weeks away from the icebreaker, although I'm not going to say I couldn't use an extra week or two to get ready, but we'll be ready in a couple weeks here for the icebreaker. So thanks for watching, and hopefully you enjoy these vlogs. Comment below, and we'll see you next time.